All right, I'm back, which is the same way I start all my videos. Again, someday I'll do an intro, but you guys have been looking for more information, so here you go. You guys have gave me some nice comments to keep making videos, and there really isn't a whole lot out there, and if it is, it's boring, so to speak. I don't mean to be that negative, but you can only preach on so many topics. So I did go K35. I'm going to try to cover some of that today. Also thought we'd review some new boost or some new battle reports showing my new boost since I went K35. I was told they were quite well, but I really haven't had the time to dabble into it, so we can read them together. Let's whoops, I didn't mean to go there. Where to start? I guess let's look at some reports, and then we'll try to figure out where some of the boosts have come from. Do we want to look at the ones I lost? I don't know. I did not get zeroed, so defeat, but I won. Oh, I don't know. This is. I was just holding a building, and I got zeroed. I'm confused. Where are we here? Are we in Battlefield? Man, I didn't think... Oh, yeah, I did get zeroed. Okay. All right, well, let's not start there. Let's look at the date. The date was the 8th. Let's start in the beginning. I got to Battlefield late, and here we go. So we started with Rock. He rallied me. I had no reinforcements, so I started out taking a big hit. I don't even know if I was ghosted yet, but without knowing that, looks like they took 900 million damage, and I took 465 million damage. So not the best. I mean, I'd like to really flex and not take that much damage, but heck, I mean, I'm doubling them up, right? And I'm just a little guy. I'm not a K34 anymore. Let's see what they send. When you get reinforcements, it really spreads out their rally to all their turns, have to take more turns on my reinforcements. So I didn't get the advantage of that. And it was only a 7-person rally. Looks like they're sending T14s. Looks like it was a range attack. That's interesting. Did I not? Okay, I'm just thinking out loud. We're going through this together. I didn't practice for this video at all, so I'll try not to make it too painful. Just want to see what's coming at me. It looks like nobody's sending two T15s, but they're all sending T14s. So I'm not going to bore you with going through every single report from the enemy's troop marches. But let's look at if I had my mounted troops ghosted. I did. I was expecting when I lost that much that I was not ghosting, but I was. So kudos to them. So looks like they took out, what did we say? Mounted, what did they send? They sent range. All right, so looks like my ground did better than the amount of troops I lost. The range barely lost any, and mounted got decimated. My siege were not touched. If you see here, I got 500,000 T14 siege. I plan on getting rid of them before SVS. They are a liability. A siege bomb will destroy them. So I do not like to be thick siege on top. I like to tend to have more siege in the lower tiers. That's just what works for me. They're great against all 3 troop types except siege. Siege, they die too easily. So, again, I didn't practice. We're learning this report together. We're reading it together. I'm going to take a look at some of the buffs. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Let's look at the buffs. So a 2300 range attack. That's pretty good. I know I can't debuff that much. I can debuff about 1,000 range attack, it looks like. And my range, defense, and HP are right around 500. Nothing spectacular. I thought I was going to be doing better than that. Excuse me. I was expecting better buffs, to be honest. But if you look at my buffs and not my debuffs, I'm well over 1,000. Wow, my siege attack is 1,700. And my mounted 1258, range 1352. I mean, that's going to get some damage done. And if you look at my defense and HP for every class, they're pretty nice. That's going to be a solid wall for them to run into. I mean, I've got the advantage of having way more troops than they can send at me, so kudos to that. All right, let's take a quick snapshot. These are my buffs at K35. Let's go back and just dabble in an old report, and let's compare my buffs from K34 to K35. When I say I went K35, I've been waiting to go K35 for a long time, and I was able to research everything. So I'm full K35. In fact, I could go K36 right now if I wanted to, but I want to stay small. I want them to attack me. So this is a rally, no reinforcements. Let's see what he sent. It'd be nice if it was range. It was not. It was siege. Interesting. Well, I still want to take a look at my buffs. That's when I brought us back to my K34 days, way back a week ago. My ground attack is up significantly. Yeah, there's some decent buffs there. Let's just take a look at my gallery here. So this is current. So I'm going to swap through. And right now is my current buffs. My siege attack, my ground attack is 1124. We're going to scroll over to what it was. That's almost 200 from 934 to 1124. Defense 1200, 1168. So not so much HP and defense gained. 1200, so 70% of defense for ground and barely 60% on HP. So just to give you an idea, but my range attack 1352. I mean, that went up 200. So the attacks went up about 200. Siege went up almost 350. 320%. I mean, that's pretty ideal. So I got a lot of attack, not so much HP and defense from my research. That surprises me. So now we're going to look at the debuffs for their enemy troops. I used to be 629 for ground, and now I'm 652, but that's only relevant. Let's see here. So I'm fully debuffing the ground attack in this report, so I don't know my limits. And I was not fully debuffing at 1582. So, I know it's hard to follow my jibber jabber here. I'm looking at the ground attack on the top for the enemy, on the right, top right, 1582. I am not debuffing that in half, but on yesterday's report, I am fully debuffing his attack on the very top right. He's got 1304. Half of that is 652. And I'm even fully debuffing his defense and HP, so I really don't know where I cap on that. But when I move down one slot to range, I am not fully debuffing anything, which is interesting. If you do follow all my videos, you know that I worry more about ground attacks. So I don't do everything focused on ranged, but it's always the best place to start. Range attacks are the easiest for everybody to hit you with. So you want to make sure you got range attacks covered before you move over to ground. I am to the point where I've moved over to ground, and I don't even focus that much on mounted, to be honest. But looks like I'm fully debuffing all of their mounted in this one. I'm sure I got hit with ground. We'll have to take a look at that. Sorry, it's late at night. I may have had a glass of wine, and I'm watching the Bears get their...
I missed something.
Thanks,
Can you
Alexa.
say it again?
No. I'm watching the Bears get their butt kicked, but I'm not a Bear fan, so... let's take a look at some more reports. Let's see if we can learn anything here. We are starting on the 8th. We looked at that rally. Then what did they do? Oh, I got some reinforcements. Looks like 4 people reinforced me. Looks like they have a 9-person rally. I don't remember taking a 9-person rally. I'm sure I have before this, but Scipio is ground. Right? For sure. This is a ground attack. I'm just looking at what they sent. They didn't send a lot of ground. Interesting. What's interesting to me is to see where their troop totals are. So now they've got a bunch of T11 ground, but they didn't send any significant amount of ground above that. So they kind of got me pegged as a trap, and they're sending lower value troops to see what they can knock out. Looks like T11, T10, and T9 ground, and T8, and a lot of T7. This is interesting. And why ground? Like, if you were trying to take out my T1 mounted layer, I would have thought range, like the last reports that we looked at. They were sending a lot of, like, T8 range to try to take out my T1 layer, which I had never seen before, and I haven't found that on the internet. I'm sure they're talking about it on Reddit or something. But, okay, let's see if everybody in this report kind of copied that march. This guy did not. So when he went ground, he went big ground. He did not send the baby ground at me. Okay, so that would be more of a traditional ground march, as is this one. Although he sent all T14 ground and then filled in the slots below it. That is not an ideal march. And, you know, so just the rally setter seemed to do the baby ground. The rest of them sent larger ground at me. Again, sorry, I'm babbling a little slow right now just because it's late at night, but I wanted to get this video out. It's been a lot to put together. So I've got 3 people reinforcing me. Their ground. See, here I was not ghosting my mounted, so I didn't look at the power exchange yet on this report. Probably did poorly because I sacrificed all my mounted troops that I'm putting at the top of the screen right now. Those should have been ghosted. So I must have... actually, you know what? I probably unghosted them because they were sending in ground. So they still killed my mounted, but look how much damage my mounted did. I unghosted them once I saw they were sending ground. So let's take a look, see if they got my T1 layer at all. They barely touched it, but they got to it. I can handle that. In fact, I must have lost T1 before this. If I'm down to 86 million, I must have lost a decent amount of T1 in the previous report. Let's look at the power exchange. So I lost a lot, 344 million. Wow, this is a big rally. My reinforcements did not lose much. So we look like we lost about 360 million power, and they lost 1.5 billion. I'm pretty happy with that. No wonder they stopped hitting me. Let's see how they zeroed me, right? You would think I'm unstoppable at this point. So what I like to do in between these rallies is I'll have a preset. We all have presets, right? I'll have a preset. I wish I had more presets. I will click. So if my first 4 are all just monster joining presets at 1 troop, and then I change them if I'm attacking or whatnot. But my 4th and 5th, excuse me, my 5th and 6th are my PvP marches. So I will click onto this range march. Range is a good one for me because my range usually dies last. So if they're coming at me, I lose mounted and ground. So the range is good because when I click the preset, first of all, this preset's all jacked up because whatever Evony did, they messed up everybody's presets. Somebody was talking about on YouTube late yesterday, and I thought they didn't know what they were doing. And here I look at mine. Mine are all jacked up. Like, you think I typed in these random numbers? It's ridiculous. So I'm not sure what Evony's trying to do. Regardless, let's go over to the other preset. But no, bad example. I need to have a march boost on for that preset to work. So what I'll do is I'll click on a normal preset. I'm going to click on this and save that subsidy right away. And if it looks like this, man, this is such a bad example. Let's go to the mounted or my ground. So if I come to this preset, you see I have 10,000 and 1,000 selected all the way down. Well, if I had my March preset or my March size boost going, you would see 1,000 all the way down to the bottom or something similar. So what I'll do is I'll click on that preset and then I'll quick scroll the selected troops back and then I'll heal them from the hospital. So when you're in the hospital, you can click a preset. See, my presets are still at the top. I can click on one of those and it'll heal just that March preset. If it's a ranged preset, I'll scroll back the ranged troops because I don't want to spend 300 days healing a March. It'll take it down to usually 10 days, but I heal 1,000 to 10,000 troops at every layer. So if they do wipe out all of my mounted troops or something like that, I know that I have all my tiers available for 10 days of speed ups. For me, that's worth it. So I'll do that between hits. Sorry to make that take so long, but hopefully that makes sense. Let's go back to Battlefield. So the first report, and I got a lot of hits today. The first report, let's just see how many mounted T1 they took out with that range rally. I got rallied twice. Yeah, see, they killed half my mounted troops in this first one that we looked at. I mean, I won the rally exchange, but I mean the power exchange, but that's hard to sustain that. So I'm down to 1.3 billion already, and they come in with that second ground attack, and I won that power exchange. I can't believe they got everybody to join that quickly. That's a good team. Unfortunately, they ran into the buzzsaw. So this is a great report. I can enjoy this. 360 million to 1.5 billion. I'm going to keep telling you guys about it. Let's go up to the third report. Let's see what they did. This was a solo. 240 to my 50 million. So for some reason, I may have changed my name. I'm not sure why they started hitting me again. I don't think so. I don't think I changed my name. This person just decided to solo. They sent range. Pretty standard range march. No siege mixed in with it as far as buffing up the siege tier. So I don't know if there's really too much to look at this report. This is a pretty standard solo attack. They did a decent amount of damage. What do we got here? This is just another solo. Let's see what they said. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So they sent baby range again. This must be the new meta. So they must be doing some damage to people that aren't trap enthusiasts like I am, because I'm starting to see this now. There must be a meta out there on the internet with on Reddit or something, encouraging this. So let's take a look. They wipe out some of my T1s. They knocked them out. They knocked some out. Well, actually, they knocked out more than it killed. So they killed 4.2 million of my T1 layer. But, I mean, not enough that they want to keep trying. But it makes me want to try this to a different T1 trap. I wonder if this just isn't the meta. Obviously, they lost this rally, but they're winning in other places. Maybe you guys are seeing it. Let me know if people are attacking you with this and how the reports are doing. I find that pretty interesting. Looks like they even gave it a second chance. Much worse results for them. 274 million to my 13 million. I am down to 800 million power in this report. So my troops are... Oh, I do have reinforcements. So I have one person reinforcing me, but it's a big player. So that probably attributes much to it. I'm going to quick look back and see if I had any reinforcements. I had no reinforcements on the first one that we looked at, and now the second one I did have reinforcements. Let's see what they sent. See, here's my reinforcement here. This is Cuddly. Our big swing looked like she had mounted troops sitting in me, which is interesting. Why she chose mounted. She must have known they were going to hit me with ground. I wonder, she must have been paying attention and swapped. Or that's pretty impeccable guessing and intuition if she didn't. But considering they just hit me with a range, she went and swapped to mounted. So she's paying attention. But so they hit me with ground. If I didn't just say that, I think I messed that up. What buffs did we want to see? We wanted to see my debuffs of a mounted attack, right? I think that's what we were talking about earlier. Nonetheless, this is a ground march, 1485. I am not fully debuffing that attack, but pretty close. I am debuffing the defense and HP. But I'm not debuffing the attack on a ground march. Just looking to see if there's any other telltales in here. Okay. So they're chipping away at me. I healed some, so I'm back up to 889 million. And though this is a pretty even draw as a rally. So my reinforcement lost a lot, but we killed over 800 million and lost not even 200 million. That's another good report. I'm pretty happy with this. They contacted me later in the event, and they were praising my defense and telling me how good my buffs were, and I haven't got to look at the reports yet, so I was excited to see what I had. I mean, it's a 7-person rally. This is getting pretty late in SVS, so they might not have all their troops to attack with as well. Excuse me. Try not to cough into the mic. Where were we? Was that rock? Yep, that was rock. Nam tried to hit me again with a solo. Did pretty good. She knocked off, you know, half the amount of damage that I got off of her, which is better than what we've been seeing. I really don't remember this part. They just must have been coming at me. I'm seeing... I was down to 7.5 million power, but I mean, I can't complain with these results. We do want to see a mounted attack though, don't we, here? This is range. I want to see my mounted buffs. Well, I'll keep moving. So this one didn't even touch me. Somebody's probably just trying to kill off their troops. Maybe at the end, I'm not sure. What's going on here? Oh, This is an attack I lost. Barely. We don't care about attacking, do we? Let's go back to my defense. I was down to under 600 million, and they bounced off my wall. Let's see what they sent. Range again. Not even a full march. They didn't even have all their tiers. I mean, it's clearly arranged in siege rally. So were they killing off their troops just to try to get some XP and points? I really can't say. Definitely a possibility at this point. Here's another one. They just bounced. What did they send? Electra and Rolland. Yeah, not a very good march. Let's not even look at that one. Then Rock starts hitting me. You know, again, he lost double the power that I did. Let's see what they sent. This is mounted. All right, I get to see my mounted buffs. That's really what I was looking for. Let's get into my buffs. So he's a 2200 mounted attack player. I am not debuffing it. I am capping out at 861%. I am not fully debuffing his defense. Not even close. Or his HP unmounted. So I hope you guys are understanding, you know, what I'm doing here, just to make sure. So this is the attacker side. These are my troops, right? So it was a mounted troop attack. So these are his buffs that he's hitting me with. All you can do is debuff these by half. So the most I could do, or the most I would show in a report, is 1100, because that's half of that. So now I got to go down to my mounted troops on this side, and I'm doing 861. So what is that? 1721% would be the most I can debuff. I hope that makes sense. For example, like if you look at an opponent and say, well, this guy's a pussy. He's only debuffing 629% mounted. Well, that's because I only have that much to debuff, and they can only show half. So their debuffs may be higher. You don't know. But in this case, we're going back to what he's sending at me. I am not fully debuffing his march, because if I debuffed half of it, I would be fully debuffing it. I know half isn't complete, but that's how it works. All right, so just in case anybody out there wasn't following the way I'm talking, that's how I'm looking at these reports. So it says that I lost this report, and I did. I got completely zeroed, which is interesting because the report right before this, let's see what he sent. It was mounted. We just discussed that, right? It was mounted, and he sent big mounted, so he didn't send small mounted. That's what I wanted to see. And looks like he's going to do some damage to me here. Just want to see what he did to my T1 layer. Same day rule. Here we go. So he knocked me down to 50 million mounted troops. And for some reason, he was able to completely zero me. So I obviously didn't heal all my tiers like I gave you an example of. I clicked on my range preset, and I'll heal every tier. I didn't get to do that with these hits. I just kind of let them come. I didn't even... I'm just looking at this report. I didn't even fully kill his march. and he fully knocked me over. So I just feel like there's something missing. Let me just look one more time. Yep, 60 million troops survive. So nope, there's nothing missing. I'm down to 532 million power, so I guess he should be able to smoke me. But I'm surprised I didn't do a little better. Just taking a look at how many tiers I had. I had no ground. I had no mounted on 15. No ground, no mounted on the T13. Same thing with the 12s. So yeah, I was chewed down to not even all my tiers. So it would have been a huge help if I would have healed 1,000 troops of every layer. Really should have a preset. So I barely had, I didn't even have half my layers. So that's why he got to me so well. What did he finish me off with here? Mounted again. So, I mean, heck, if he's hitting with 2,200 mounted, it's funny how that's such an even percentage. Yeah, why send anything else? Okay, so that's the reports. Where did I get my boost from? I almost feel like I should do it in another video. Most of it comes from the art hall. And art treasures. So I did not have a lot of these. Let me think here. I opened up at least 4 of these. I know these bottom 4 were not open. So I got Marching Siege Attack. That does me no good from this Laurel Wealth one. Next one over is the Yasaki. I don't know what this one is. How to pronounce it. The Golden Eagle Flag. All troops attack and enemy troops attack. That's helpful. Then this Laurel Wreath. Excuse me again. In-city siege machine attack, 33 defense and HP 33. That's a lot of buffs. I was able to upgrade it to level 3 pretty quickly, and if you look at the red towards the bottom, I'm not far from getting that up to 50%. So those were some big added buffs. My in-city mounted troop attack and defense and HP, same thing. Got it up to level 3 instantly just because I had so many of the scrolls or whatever those things are called sitting around for forever. So definitely got some boost here. I don't think I had this one until recently. So I probably opened up 5 of these. That's where I got a lot of buffs. I did do almost all the research that's worthwhile. Everything is done except for, like, I'm in the sub-city right now. So it would be nice to have the troop survival done. I did run out of the blue research stones, but everything else is really done. So I'm basically fully researched with the exception of troop survival in the subordinate city. There are like some healing in the holy place researches that I would never use that aren't done. But so for all sense and purposes, I completely did everything that K35 would allow. I am excited to ascend some generals this weekend. And I was going to show you guys my overall buffs. And we're going to take a look. So you come into here, you go to your details on the bottom left. And now I'm on that same screen. So let's see where we're at here. These are all the same. So my single ground troop attack, defense, and HP, none of that changed, which I swore I did some research on that, but I must not have. I'm sure I'm wrong. So this is the picture that I just brought to the front. So let's just take a look at this now. All right, this is the old stat. I hope you guys are following me here. Just trust me. This is K34, 187% ground troop attack. It went up by 60, 65. That's not good math, is it? 13. Yeah, 65, 66%. Ground troop defense, this is current 212. Ugh. It's less. How's that possible? Oh boy. So my ground troop defense went from 219 down to 212. I can't imagine that's Monarch gear, because I never wear my ground Monarch gear. Could I have messed with a blazon? I guess. I did upgrade a couple blazons today, but this is my old K39. Even my HP and my attack went up, but my ground troop defense went down. Yeah, this is more good YouTube here. Let's look at the range attack. 260, 226, 248. So those went up nicely. Got 40% range attack, 4% defense, 4% HP. Definitely not exciting. That's interesting. Not impressed. There's another one. My mounted troop defense. Was I boosted in this report? No, I shouldn't have been. It was... Well, the attacks went up. My siege defense went up at least, even though every other defense seemed to go down. My range of defense went up too. That's bizarre. This is not a good video. Let's take a look at In-City real quick, and then I'll let you guys go. Oops, that's not where I wanted to go. In-City. I don't care about marching. Come on. All right. Looks like a reset here. Where's my In-City? I scrolled past it already? There we go. Snapshot. Bear with me. You guys wanted more videos. Hey, how about that crypto alert here? When I first started talking to you about Bitcoin, it was like $24,000 of Bitcoin. That was like 3 weeks ago. It's at $36,500 of Bitcoin. You don't need to buy a full coin, by the way. You can buy like $5 of Bitcoin, and when it goes up 50%, you're still up $2.50. So you can buy whatever increments you want. There are other cryptos too, but it's Bitcoin is the safest. Ethereum would be the second safest. So let's go back into my pictures. This was my old stats, 321, and my in-city ground troop is up significantly. So that was a big difference. I'm just scrolling back and forth and see if I see anything that's screaming at me here. In-city mounted troop attack went up significantly. 110%. There may be some other things. 100% for in-city mounted troop defense. Siege machine attack. I mean, there's definitely some extra buffs going on. Not quite as significant as I was expecting, especially with what the other team was telling me in Battlefield today. I was thinking I would see a lot more. think this video is long enough. I'm going to cut it off here. I might even have to go in and turn up my voice. I apologize for the nonchalant voice tonight. If you're still here, let me just look real quick. I used the orbs that you get in SVS. They are the battle-tested orbs. They do stack. So I didn't think they were, and then Celine in our alliance said, no, you know, specialties don't cancel each other out. It's just skill books that do that. I'm like, yeah, that's a great point. So she showed me, you know, generals that were already using that their specialties stack. So then I was optimistic that they would after she had steered me in the right direction. I proved it out. I put specialty orbs on the same specialty orb on both wall generals, and they did count. So just that little side note. And on that, I will let you guys go.